boy, JD Vance puts his foot down live on air. I'm here for it. I got to see what he's talking about. He reacts and gives his response to this sit down interview, pre-recorded, pre-taped. Yeah, with her running mate. After 40 days, finally we get an interview, and it's on CNN. CNN with Dana Bash. And a lot of people are disappointed, you guys. You probably already seen what everybody's talking about right now. They're getting a lot of backlash, a lot of it's hot right now, boy. But I agree with them beautiful patriots, man. She doesn't need to be nowhere near the White House. People are laughing. World leaders are laughing. We are a laughing stock. And we have one of those beautiful Gen Z voters that are on the Trump train. And they even sent me a loving email and told them that I woke them up. You know, that they used to be a never Trumper and, you know, believed in all the fake news. And yeah. And we also had another amazing person in the comments that said, I think, what is DEI? And let's just go and say it out loud, Patriots. Didn't earn it. Unqualified, not qualified. DEI Kamala. And there's a lot of DEI going on. It's everywhere. As you can see, it's in the Secret Service. It's everywhere. You know, DEI is everywhere. People that are unqualified, not qualified. People that are getting a check. That shouldn't be getting that check. And there's a lot of people sitting on their butt right now collecting a check, man. You know, as failure is taking place. Failure. Collecting a check and there's a bunch of failure going on. You know, how has the last 3.5, 4 years been for you and your family? Millions are struggling. Millions are dying. It's crazy what's going on, man. And I'm just not processing to me how somebody could how they could vote for this Harris Walls ticket. Another 4 years. I just don't see it. And I'm so glad that a lot of people are waking up. Gen Z, the black vote. I mean, everybody. Don't matter where skin color does not matter. Everybody's waking up, man. We the people are tired, man. Sick and tired. Sick and tired of being sick and tired, man. You know? But boy, and it's sad that we got to hear identity politics all the way to November 5th. Oh, that it really does irk me. I know it does irk y'all, man. I don't care if she isn't black, if she's black. I know if she's not black. I don't care. You know? It's disgusting, man. You know? And then she's on here laughing. And there's nothing funny. Nothing funny, man. Millions of people are struggling and dying. And she on here laughing. Ain't nothing funny. A new way forward. A new way forward. And they blamed everything on Donald Trump. You know, Trump. There's a reason. You know, it's all Trump. Can't tell you how they're going to fix the mess that they created. Can't tell you that, but it's always Trump. He's a threat to democracy. No, he's a threat to your corrupt system. He's a threat to your corrupt system. We are not against a candidate. We are against a machine. So I wanted to, again, send my prayers out. Protect this Trump team, this Trump campaign, man. Because now you can see them heavy hitters, man. And as you can see, Democrats are leaving the party every single day. We had one big one earlier this morning. She says the Democrat, Texas rep, Democrat party is unrecognizable. She said it out of her own mouth in the press conference. You know, she says I can't be a part of this anymore. And one huge reason was due to kids and trans surgeries and stuff like that. Oh, man. Anyways, I gotta watch my words on here. I can't get into full details about certain things because I don't want to get in any trouble. But yeah, a lot of people and a lot of people are switching over to the Democrat Party to Republican Party, man. Every single day. You know. And there's some big hitters that are going to be joining the campaign. Big things are going to be happening this upcoming week, this upcoming month. So y'all be ready. We're going to be here to cover it. But JD Vance reacts to this Kamala Harris CNN interview, and it was pretty bizarre. That's the title. Let's go and get into this, you guys. JD Vance, and y'all know JD just sat down with Dana Bash, what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. You know, it didn't take JD Vance or anybody of Trump. It didn't take them 40 days, a month and a half. They've been doing interviews almost every single day. You know, nobody's ducking, dodging, and hiding. But I tell you, after watching this interview, we covered it. They should have just kept their puppet hidden. Keep your puppet hidden. You know she can't speak. You know it's a word salad. Nobody understands what she's saying. Keep your puppet hidden. But hey, Joe got 81 million votes. And now he's on the beach, curling his toes in the sand. He done went on 5 vacations in a 1 week time span. I don't know how that is possible. What the? 5 vacations in 1 week. And he was as sharp as a tack. It was a cheap fake, a deep fake. What you're seeing isn't real, we the people. Patriots, we're stupid. What we're seeing isn't real. Falling down the stairs, can't get his sentences out, don't know where he's at. Who is running the country?
All right, we got some news today because Kamala Harris finally gives her first official interview as the Democratic nominee, promising a new way forward. Watch.
One of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people, I think that people are ready for a new way forward. Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard.
But Harris struggled to lay out her day one agenda, having difficulty explaining her flip-flopping on policies.
Flip-flop.
I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed.
Okay, this as Harris faces criticism for having Governor Walz by her side during the interview. Politico is reporting, quote, a senior campaign official also made the important stipulation that obviously she will do solo interviews in the future as well. Somebody who does interviews every day, does extemporaneous speaking, we saw him yesterday, is vice presidential candidate, Ohio Senator JD Vance. JD, good morning to you.
And I want y'all to know, I know y'all been loving JD Vance more and more and more. Like I said, he wasn't on our top 3 for VP picks. You know, but we are loving JD more and more every single day. Yes, indeed, man. How do you feel about JD Vance? Comment down below right now.
Good morning, guys.
So last night we watched the 27-minute interview that CNN did. Dana Bash did ask a lot of the questions we wanted answers to. And one of the most important things was, how do you, Vice President Harris, explain the flip-flops? But as we just heard in that soundbite, she's not flip-flopping because she has the same values.
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre, right? So if you have the same values, why have you changed your mind on literally every topic that you previously held an opinion on? But I think it's important for us not to buy this. If you look at the way that Kamala Harris is governed, she's actually governed as a far-left person. She's just trying to pretend that she's not far-left now because, of course, she wants to win the American people's votes over the next couple of months. But if she does, she's going to do the same thing that she's been doing for the last few years. She's going to try to make it harder to get American energy from American territory. She's going to make it harder for us to drive down the cost of everything from food to housing. She's going to make it harder for us to enforce our border laws, and she's going to make more chaos and more instability around the world. So it's really absurd for Kamala Harris to sit there and say, well, I don't actually believe in any of the thing that I told you I believed 3 years ago. She has governed as a person who believes those things, and unfortunately, the American people are far off because of it.
So, Senator, she flipped on the EV mandates through the Green New Deal, the border wall, decriminalizing the border crossings, Medicare for all, which she was the co-sponsor.
Again, tons of things that they called Trump racist for. Remember when the first border wall thing came out? They wiped Trump through the mud. I mean, dragged him by his hair and just smeared him in the mud, pushed his face down in the mud. He's this, he's that, he's a racist, this, that. Now they love his policies. Now we need his policies, huh? Now it's common sense, huh? Well, you just can't make this up, man. Again, you guys should be boiling right. Your blood should be boiling right now. You should get about 10, 15, your family, your friends. Y'all go down to that voting booth, man. I'm telling you. It's going to be too big to rig, man. And if this thing plays out fair, history will be done on this election map 2024. Mark my words. Things are going to turn red. I'm telling you, man.
I mean, that's a major flip. The mandatory gun buyback, fracking, apparently she supports it now, and offshore drilling. You know, I know it's only been 2 years into politics for you, Senator, but politicians, they change their position. But the problem I have with Kamala Harris, and it's much like when you graciously invited me into your home, I want to know why she changed her position. You told me why you changed your position on Donald Trump. Why aren't we hearing why she changed?
Well, in part because she refuses to give interviews, right? So this is her first interview in 40 days. And of course, she's flanked by her VP colleague there. But she's not a person who actually knows, I think, why she believes the things that she says that she believes. You're exactly right. She did impose an EV mandate, which is going to ship a lot of American manufacturing jobs to China. She has supported the defund the police movement, which has made a lot of our cities much more violent and a lot of our neighborhoods much less safe. She has done all of these things as she's been in government. And again, now she's trying to run away from it. And I agree with you guys. She should have to sit and answer tough questions about why she's changed her mind. I think she answered one question yesterday about how she changed her mind. It was a bit of a word salad, and I don't think it actually gave Americans any insight into who Kamala Harris really is. The final point that I just make about how she was trying to explain her changed perspectives is, if you actually watched what she was saying, the way that she was saying it, it's clear that she doesn't have very strong convictions. I actually, even though I'm running against her, I felt a little bad for her because it was clear that she wasn't totally sure-footed, and she didn't totally know why she was saying the things that she was saying. She's been coached to pretend to be a moderate. Unfortunately, guys, she's governed as a San Francisco liberal, and because of it, Americans are poorer, the world is more chaotic, and our border is wide open. We've got to take this country in a new direction, which is why we've got to elect Donald Trump.
Well, let's talk about Pennsylvania, because that is a very important state, and fracking, which matters a lot to the people in Pennsylvania. Here's Kamala Harris on fracking.
No, and I made that clear on the debate stage in 2020, that I would not ban fracking. As vice president, I did not ban fracking. As president, I will not ban fracking. I made very clear where I stand. We are in 2024, and I've not changed that position, nor will I going forward. I kept my word, and I will keep my word. My values have not changed. I believe it is very important that we take seriously what we must do to guard against what is a clear crisis in terms of the climate. And to do that, we can do what we have accomplished thus far. The Inflation Reduction Act, what we have done to invest, by my calculation, over probably $1 trillion over the next 10 years, investing in a clean energy economy. What we've already done, creating over 300,000 new clean energy jobs. That tells me, from my experience as vice president, we can do it without banning fracking.
Senator, and here she is back in 2019.
Will you commit to implementing a federal ban on fracking your first day in office? adding the United States to the list of countries who have banned this devastating practice.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
So, Senator, how do you be simultaneously for the Green New Deal and now for fracking?
Well, you can't. Those are just totally inconsistent positions.
Exactly.
And I actually think that Kamala Harris may have told an explicit lie on top of what she's already said here. So think about this. Kamala Harris says that she changed her mind in 2020 on the debate stage. Her last debate was in 2019 because she dropped out of the race before it really got to voting. So she's saying that she changed her mind on fracking during her general election debate. That's not true. She definitely did not do that. So I think that Kamala Harris got away with a very dishonest sort of, revision of her record there. But then let's go back just to how this affects the lives of American families and American workers. Fracking is one of the main ways that we have to drive down the cost of energy. Right. And if you think groceries are expensive now, what happens when we increase the cost of energy even further, making it hard to get the food to the grocery store? If you think the cost of housing is bad now, what happens when we increase the cost of producing the materials that go into the houses, which is what a ban on fracking would do? She is pursuing a policy, guys, that is going to make Americans poorer in their own country. And it's so fascinating. The media is so desperate to let her get away with this that they don't even push her on the fact that she's changed her mind allegedly on 8 different topics. And the final thing is, the proof is in the pudding. Kamala Harris can say that she's changed her mind on American energy or changed her mind on police or changed her mind on immigration. She is the sitting vice president of the United States. If she's changed her mind, why doesn't she enact these policies now and make Americans better off? I don't think she believes it, which is why you're not seeing it in what she's doing.
And Dana Bash kind of asked about that. Hey, you've been vice president for 3.5 years. Last night. We know what she's doing with these new positions, Senator. She is racing to the middle because when, there's one, you're way out there on the fringe when you're in the primary, and then you race to the middle in the general, and that's what she's doing. But she said, and obviously she's fishing around for Republican votes as well, because she was asked, and she said that she would appoint a Republican to her cabinet. And we've seen that in the past. GWB did it. Barack Obama did it. Would a Trump-Vance administration, would you guys appoint a Democrat to your cabinet?
Oh, of course we would, Stephen. We've actually got a lot of great Democratic support. We just got RFK, of course, Tulsi Gabbard, who've endorsed the president in just the last couple of days. If you look at the Trump movement in 2024, it's actually the common sense big tent movement in American.
Common sense, unified common sense, simple, and also I'm telling you, a nightmare for the deep state, nightmare. And that's one reason why I want to send my prayers, protect them at all costs, man. For real. And it's sad that you got people shooting at rallies. It's sad that they got to stand outside in outdoor rallies and behind bulletproof glass. Because Trump's a threat to their system, a threat to democracy. It's crap, man. But prayers for this Trump campaign, this Trump team, man. Protect them at all costs, for real. We don't know what to expect next, man.
Politics. We don't agree on everything, of course. Not everybody who votes for Donald Trump is going to agree with every policy issue, but we agree on the basics. We agree that American energy prices should be lower. We agree that we should be making more of our own stuff in the United States of America. We agree that we should close down the border and stop the flow of illegal drugs and trafficking into our country. It's just the basic common sense stuff, and it's telling, that Kamala Harris wants to say that she's the big tent candidate. She wants to say that she stands for a totally different platform than what she ran on 3 years ago, but she's governed as a radical. She will govern further as a radical, and Donald Trump has the record of lower prices, higher wages, and peace across the world. The contrast is extraordinary. We just have to remind the American people that the proof is in the pudding, and Donald Trump did a good job. Kamala Harris did a bad one.
Well, Senator, we've been following what's been happening at the border, and now it's here at home. Chicago's, the Venezuelan gangs and the United States gangs are going back and forth. You got Colorado now, where we have apparently some illegal migrants that have taken over an apartment complex. We had the councilwoman on from that area. This is what she said. Watch, Senator.
I currently know of 4 others. That's just in Aurora. I do believe that there are some in Denver. Denver police officers are starting to speak out.
We need to be arresting these guys for the smallest crimes that they're committing, putting them in jail, figuring out who they are. We don't even know who they are. They came across the border, were probably lightly vetted, probably have criminal backgrounds in Venezuela because we don't share background information with Venezuela. We really need to start putting boots on the ground and arresting these guys for shooting up cars, all the assaults that they're committing.
So, Senator, one of the problems is the local cops can't do anything. They can't talk to ICE. So these people can't be deported because it's a sanctuary state. What does a Trump-Vance administration do differently?
Well, first of all, we end sanctuary cities and we end sanctuary states. If you've got illegal immigrants in your communities, they need to go home, and you need to cooperate with local and federal law enforcement to help get illegal immigrants out of our country. Guys, if we don't have a border, we do not have a real country. And all these problems that exist primarily in Central America, we're now seeing them in places like Aurora, Colorado, or Chicago, or Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because Kamala Harris has allowed us to import the business of the drug cartels into our own communities, and Americans are suffering because of it. We cannot overstate this. I was talking to national firefighters yesterday. Hundreds of millions of dollars in Chicago, in New York, in Pittsburgh, all across our community are going to pay for the problems related to the border. You're housing illegal migrants. You're trying to deal with the drug overdoses that come from illegal migrants. We should be spending that money on more police, more firefighters, more municipal services. But these local governments are being totally destroyed because they're paying for Kamala Harris's open border.
But Senator,
we can
real
do
quick,
so much better.
Real quickly,
we just need common sense leadership.
I know we only got a little bit at a time, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
The sanctuary city, sanctuary state, if Trump-Vance administration is there, does that now become against federal law? Is there going to be a bill to say you cannot be a sanctuary state, you cannot be a sanctuary city?
Yeah, absolutely. It needs to be against federal law, and we need to be willing to use the purse strings of the federal government. If a local city is not willing to cooperate with deporting violent criminals, then we need to say, well, then maybe we're not going to give you as much money as we used to. We have got to end the practice of sanctuary cities. It's making our communities poorer and less safe.
Senator, yesterday, former President Trump announced that he wants to make IVF treatments free if he becomes a president. So you're talking...
Boy, just the wait. I'm telling y'all, man. When is Kamala gonna steal this? Just wait for it. When is she gonna steal this policy? They're predicting it already that she's gonna steal this policy next.
Here to a mom of 9 kids, so I obviously believe more babies are better. But I actually was kind of a little bit taken aback because last week you were talking about, making Americans healthy. We clearly have a fertility problem. Something is going on in our country because infertility is exploding. And there's something, whether it's in the food, in the environment, it could be cultural as well, that we're encouraging girls to start women to have babies a lot later. I've talked to a lot of pro-life friends of mine, and they're saying it's one thing to say, I'm not going to ban IVF. It's an entirely other thing to say, we're going to pay for it, or we're going to mandate insurance companies to pay for it. And a lot of them said that smacked to them like Obamacare mandating, contraceptive mandates. So what's your response, particularly the pro-life community, which has been so supportive of this ticket and the advances that Donald Trump has clearly made in that area?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm pro-life, and I want to save as many babies as possible. I think it's important for us to recognize that there are a lot of fertility problems, and we ought to be talking about the root causes. But President Trump has always been pro-fertility treatment to address some of the problems too that young women are facing. I mean, you know this, I know this. We've all had family and friends that have gone through infertility problems. It is a nightmare, and I think all President Trump is saying is that we want to make it as accessible as possible. Of course, we're going to respect religious liberties. We're not going to force anybody to do something that is against their conscience, but we also want to make this fertility stuff available to as many people as possible because babies are good, and for a whole host of complicated reasons, we've got a lot of women and a lot of young families that are struggling with this. We, of course, want them to have happier, healthier lives, and we want American women to have as big a families as they would like to have. And unfortunately, we know that's not happening right now.
What do you say, Senator, to those in the pro-life community, some now that are so angered that they're saying some of them may stay home? Why is that a bad idea?
Well, it's a bad idea, first of all, because all the president has said is he wants abortion to be made at a policy to be made at the state level, right? He wants California, Florida, Ohio to fight this stuff out and to have debates among their citizens rather than having a national one-size-fits-all approach. And I think the genius in President Trump's approach here is that he's actually giving the individual voting populations the room to figure this stuff out. You guys know, again, I am a pro-life person. We had a pro-life referendum in the state of Ohio. It didn't go the direction that I wanted it to go. And I think what I take away from that is that those of us in the pro-life community, we've got to do a better job of persuading our fellow citizens. But even if you disagree with something that Donald Trump has said, look, Kamala Harris wants to force Christian hospitals to perform abortions. She wants taxpayer-funded abortion up until the moment of birth. The Democrats are utterly radical on this. And if you, like me, want to save as many babies as possible, Donald Trump is really the only candidate in the race.
Well, we know you're running for vice president. He's running for president. You guys are very busy. Senator, thank you very much for spending about 20 minutes with us today.
Wow, that was, man, how can you not cast a vote for this ticket, man? How can you not cast a vote for this Trump and Vance ticket? It's just common sense. Common sense, man. You know, let me know what y'all think of that. God bless you all and your families. I am wishing the best in all you guys' life. I love y'all, and I will catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace and love, y'all.